Hello pre-calculus student, this video is for chapter 6.2 and 6.3 online homeworks. Just follow along. Question 1, we have to match each of these graph with its equation. So if we click on it, we'll see, sine, cosine, tangent, cosecant. So we'll scan through this. Tangent graph is the one, this is not a tangent graph. This is cotangent graph because I can see that there's asymptote at x equals 0 and x equals pi. So I will select cotangent. This is those U-shaped graph, and there is asymptote at x equals 0. So that means the original reciprocal function has x equals 0 here, and which is sine. So this is a reciprocal of sine, which is cosecant. Its next one is a upward function with a lot of vertical asymptote, and because this is pi and 0 is 0, so the asymptote is at pi over 3 and pi over 2 and negative pi over 2, and we know it's tangent. And also it goes up. This one is a U-shaped graph with a 1 at 0, so it must be reciprocal to cosine because cosine 0 is 1. Oh, so is there anyone that was wrong? This is not cosine, it's secant. Right, okay. Question 2 is I have a tangent function and I want to determine the following. What is the period of this function? Okay, so let's go to the notes. For a period of this function, we have to look at period. We look at b. B is half pi. So period is for a tangent function is pi, and divided by the b value, half pi. Half pi. So pi and pi cancel. 1 over 1/2 is 2. So the period is 2, and we want to select the graph. And you see that there is a negative outside. That means the graph actually flip over. So because the period is 2, so the asymptotes is 1 and negative 1. 1. Yeah, should not be all these. It should be between 1 and negative 1, and it is downward because of the reflection outside. So we have negative 2 tangent x over 5. What are the vertical asymptotes? We just need asymptotes. So to do that, we need to calculate the period of this function. We know this function, this is a, and this is the b, right? B is whatever that multiplied x. If I have x over 5, that means it's 1/5 times x. So b is 1/5. Period would be, we have to calculate period first before we can figure out the asymptote. It's 2 pi, not 2 pi. It's pi, originally is pi over 1/5. So not over 5, but 1/5, because the whole thing is so that's 5 pi, right? So it's 5 pi. So that means from the middle, you go half of 5 pi and half of 5 pi for the asymptote. So negative 5 over 2 pi and 5 over 2 pi. So I'll write it as negative 5 over 2 pi, comma, 5 over 2 pi. So it's the two asymptote is half period from 0. Question 4. Which of the following is a graph of negative 1 tangent x plus pi over 4? So I know this is a reflection. This is A, is a reflection. There's no B. So period at B is equal to 1. So this means reflection. And the tangent graph are like this, right? Pi over 2, negative pi over 2, pi over 2, and then go up, right? So if you have a pi b equal to 1, that is still negative pi over 2 and pi over 2 as the asymptote, but the graph move plus pi over 4 means left. pi over 4. That means this pi over 2, the new VA would be negative pi over 2 subtract pi over 4. It's like on the left side. So that would be negative 3 pi over 4. And then the other VA was pi over 2, but you have to subtract pi over 4 again. That is just pi over 4. So this is a pi over 4. So I would say so, and then the graph has a flip over, so it'll be like this, right? So it'll be a graph that goes down and negative 3 pi over 4 and pi over 4. Go down would be either this one, this goes up, or this one. Let's look at the asymptote. So this asymptote seems to be negative pi over 4. This is not right. This is not right. So I think it's this one. Yes. 4. What is the phase shift? Phase shift is whatever that you subtract or add from x. And it is C over B. So in our case, B is 1 because I don't see any B. So B equal to 1. C is equal to, it needs to be negative, but now is positive. That means negative pi over 4. So the phase shift is negative pi over 4. So it's about moving left or right translation. Pi over 4. And then if that is the case, let's select the graph. So what would the graph be for? Let's look at. So normally for secant function, you're using the cosine function as your reference, and then you would do the dots, 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 and vertical asymptote, vertical asymptote, and then the graph would look like this, right? Go down, go up like that. So at the middle, there is like a U shape that's in the middle. But because we are doing left, pi over 4, so the whole thing would move kind of like half of it. It's kind of strange. So it would still be like this, but it's moved to pi over 4. Everything moved pi over 4. So all you need to do is look at the vertical asymptote. I think the first one looks really good. This one is not. This one is what? This one, it doesn't have the up. And it also ends at 4. So I think it's this one. Oh, let's look at the real one. So these are like too far away. It's like 8 or something is not. So they have to be 4 and negative 4. This one is too much. So I think it's this one. Right. Number 6 is cosecant. So it's negative cosecant x plus negative pi over 3. Which one is a graph? So let's graph it a little bit in the things over here. So I'm going to just graph negative 2 sine x minus pi over 3. See, plus pi over 3, negative 3 means minus. So that means it's right pi over 3. And with the asymptotes, no asymptotes, with 2 and negative 2, negative 2 and 2 top and bottom. The period used to be 0 to 2 pi, but because you do right, so it's pi over 3 plus 2. So, okay. It's not very clear. So the one cycle period is 2 pi. So the cycle would be from 0, but I add pi over 3 to 2 pi, add pi over 3. So that would be pi over 3 to 2 pi add, so 7 pi over 3. So that's where it is. It's like begins here. You do like this, right? There's a reflection. Sorry. Okay, so there's a reflection. That means you go down first and go up and down. So this is pi over 3. Okay, pi over 3. Don't know how to do this. And then, but our goal is to draw cosecant, which it has all these 1, 2, 2, 2, and then U shape. So that should be 1. Let's see. Used to be 0. Now is pi over 3. Pi over 3 to pi over 2. So how much is it? So I'm just trying to figure out. So it used to be sine at pi over 3. You add pi over 3. Um, so the old one was like that. And you switch to pi over 3. So the first one should be kind of like here, but then there is, yeah. Oh, because you do, okay, sorry. You go down first. So I'm just trying to see where the first loop would be. This used to be pi, this used to be 0, but you shift pi over 3. Pi over 3 is 60-degree, right? So the bottom, the top of it should be still here. Yeah, I think it's maybe it's this one. Just want to see where the loops are. But let's see all of them. Yeah, I think it's this one. It's a high chance it's this one. Okay. Yes. You just need to know where the loops, the like U-shaped things are. Okay, so this is the evaluating trig function. Well, let's get a unit circle open. 6 unit circle. And we want to use the one that has the negative or corrected. Sine inverse -1. So we would look at sine. Sine is this 2 quadrant. -1 is here. That is negative pi over 2. Sine 1 is this one. Is pi over 2. Sine inverse, not sine. Sine inverse 0. Sine inverse 0 is that when the y is 0, that's 0 degree. But we use radian. Okay. And then we do sine inverse cosine, which is the first 2 quadrant. Sine inverse -1 is the x value is -1 is the pi. -2 over 2 is on here, so the x value is -2 over 2. The angle is 3 pi over 4. We're doing reverse lookup in the unit circle. -1/2, look at it's n negative, but it is in here. The angle is 2 pi over 3. That's it. 9. Evaluate this expression. Your answer must be an exact angle. Okay, so be in radian. So I wrote the green number as tangent value. So tangent inverse 1 means what angle is it corresponds to tangent being equal to 1. That is, I have the green 1 here, so that is pi over 4. And arctangent -3. So -3 I here, so this is a negative pi over 3. And then arctangent -1 is also in this quadrant, negative pi over 4. 10, we are solving right triangle. There's a right angle here. I have 14, 15. What is the length of AB? So that one I don't need to use trigonometry. I can use Pythagorean theorem. Go back to this. Yeah. So AB is this side. Let's say this is side C. So by Pythagorean theorem, C squared is 15 squared plus 14 squared. C is square root of 15 squared plus 14 squared. So don't do root before adding. 225 plus 196. Okay, add it. So be square root of 225 plus 196. That is square root of 421. And round to the nearest tenth would be 20.8, 20.5. for me. 20.5. And angle A is what degree? So if I look at angle A, and I would use this two side. This side is adjacent to it, right? To this angle, this is opposite. So I have O and A. Ka, no. Toa, yes. O and A. So I will use tangent to do A. Tangent A equal to 14 over 15. So I add tangent -1 on both sides. This cancel. So A is equal to tangent, arctangent, 14 over 15. Put in the calculator. Second tangent is arctangent, 14 over 15, is it? 14 over 15. 43 degree. And then for B, we would just do 90 degree minus 43 degrees, so that is 47 degree. Okay. 43, 47. Number 10, for the right triangle below, find the measure of the angle. So this angle is this one that we want. They just want the angle. So what kind of angle is this? If I look at this angle, this side is opposite. This side is hypotenuse, so saw, right? So I will use sine of this angle. Let's say angle A. There's no name for it. Let's say angle A is equal to O, which is 14, H 16. So insert sine inverse because I want to cancel the sine. So it'll be A, no more, equal to sine inverse 14 over 16. That is equal to second sine inverse 14 over 16, 61. Round to one decimal place is 61, 61.0. 11, so this is a letter 5.7. Okay, let's look at it this way. 5.7 feet long. Lean against the wall and from the ground is 2.5. What is the angle between the letter and the ground? So this is the angle, right? So we would say, according to this, I have this side, which is adjacent. I also have this side, which is H. So A and H is ka. Cosine theta equal to A, 2.5 over 5.7. Again, I want to get rid of the cosine, so I use cosine inverse. Cosine inverse on both sides, 2.5 over 5.7. So theta is cancelled. Theta will be cosine inverse 2.5, 5.7. Second, cosine inverse 2.5, 5 over 5.7. 63.98, so that is 64.0. Oh, so that would be, the angle is 64.0. It should be a degree, right? Because we're looking at an angle. Okay. 13, find the expression. So this is a composition of sine and cosine. So composition of arcsine and sine. So normally we can cancel it if the answer is in the restricted if the angle is in the restricted domain of sine. So 4 pi over 9, For sine x, the restricted domain has to be negative pi over 2, 2 pi over 2. 4 pi over 9 is where? It's like, I think it is less than half a pi, right? 4 over 9 is, if I do 4 over 9, 4 over 9 is 0.4, so it's less than 0.5 pi, so I can just cancel it. So it'll be 4 pi over 9, because this is in negative pi over 2, 2 pi over 2. Why? It's because it's from 4 pi, and then this is 0.5 pi, so it is within 0.5 pi. So I can just cancel them, and that would be just be 4 pi over 9. Pi over 9. The exact value. Okay. 14, it is a composition of different trig and inverse trig angles, so we would need to use the triangle, right triangle to do them. So we temporarily assume that this is an angle, we just didn't solve for it. Cosine of this angle is 2/3 because theta is cosine inverse 2/3. If you do cosine on both sides, you'll get this cancel. So like that, if you have this, you can draw a picture of an angle having the cosine ka, right, 2/3. So A we don't know, so we would say A squared plus 2 squared equal to 3 squared. So A squared equal to 3 squared minus 2 squared, or A is equal to square root of 9 minus 4 is equal to square root 5. So this is equal to square root 5. Now I want to do sine of it. Sine of cosine inverse 2/3 is the same as doing sine theta, which is in the triangle. Sine theta is saw opposite, which is root 5 over hypotenuse 3 with 5 over 3. Exact value. Okay, 15. The same as what we have before. Rewrite it as equivalent algebraic. So arc cosine means it's supposed to be an angle. We would say arc cosine equal to theta. So cosine both sides would equal to x over 1. So I'll draw a triangle that has a theta and ka x over 1. So what is b then? B squared plus x squared equal to 1. B would equal to 1 minus x squared. B squared. B is equal to square root of 1 minus x squared. So this is square root of 1 minus x squared. But I want to do sine. So this is all the setup, right? So I'm going to do sine of arc cosine x. That would equal to sine of theta, because arc cosine x is theta. So what is sine theta in this right triangle is saw O over h. O is square root of 1 minus x squared. H is 1. So it will be square root of 1 minus x squared. X squared. The domain, what is the domain of this? So it has to be between -1. Oh, in interval notation, it will be between -1 and 1. -1, comma 1. Because we don't want it to have a negative number in the root. So that's all for this online homework.